Alrighty, hello everyone. Welcome back to the stream. Good to see you. Let's see, I'm a little bit scrambled. I literally just got back home from a little trip like 7 minutes ago, so I need to get my bearings here. But today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be implementing some board effects. So I've been working on the board growth system and basically just got to add a bunch of effects to that. Now, I have a little bit of there's some UX issues and stuff that need to be fixed. But I did see that some of you put suggestions for board growth ideas, board modifiers. So we'll see if we can knock some of those out on the stream here. But yeah, what else do I want to say? I think that's basically it. So the Alchemortis playtest will still be available. You can see that there's an announcement here. The playtest is going to close at 7 a.m. PT, which is 10 a.m. Eastern on, what is this, Monday? Wait, there's no... I don't think they put the date in there. I think it's Monday is when it's supposed to be ending, or Tuesday or something. We'll see. Anyway, you can wishlist Alchemortis. You still have time to try the playtest if you're interested. You can also support the game on Patreon if you subscribe at the top tier here for at least 1 month. I will send you an Alchemortis Steam key, so a key for the full game, and your name will be listed in the in-game credits. And what else? I have my courses, which you could purchase. Okay, anyway, let's just get right into doing some board growth stuff. Hello, Clickertail, welcome back. Good morning, Ninja Link, good to see you. All right, so board growth stuff. So let me show you what I've got going on here. So with the new board modifier system, there's going to be one modifier choice per direction that you can grow. And so what I had to do last night is I had to wire that all up through the system. So I had to go through my seeded run system, generate these grow board configurations, map those out to the proper nodes. There's a generate grow board, so this creates a new grow board configuration during the map generation phase. This is essentially pretty easy. It's just storing an RNG object to use. It's setting the RNG on the loot table. This board effect factory essentially just gets all of the different board effects and adds them with equal weights to the loot table. I probably will change that at some point, but I just needed to get it wired up into the system. So anyway, so this is all part of the run generation now. And it works for the standalone nodes as well as for the boss nodes. The only problem here is that I really don't have enough room to show this text. So what I may do is I'm thinking about getting rid of the text like this and just doing tooltips for everything. And that would be true of the enchants as well. Because I think there's going to be situations where I'm going to need this text to scroll. And yeah, that's going to be... Anyway. So grow board up, you get this board effect. That pops in very nicely. It also fades out when you close it out, which is pretty nice. So yeah, and then it tells you what the board effect is on hover. It also works here. The problem though is that if I beat this boss and I grab the boss soul, I get the board growth. Oh, it's clipped by the combat widget. So that's a problem. So that's why I kind of think maybe I should just move to tooltips for all these things, because I think that would just be more consistent, easier to work with. But anyway, I think it's looking good. Just saw Alchemortis for the first time and it looks brilliant. Thank you. What does that say? I can't read. Zinnies, welcome. Thank you, thank you. How do you achieve such nice animations? They look frame by frame, but they aren't, right? That's true, yeah. They are not frame by frame. I'm doing cutout animations for all my characters. So here's the Necromancer character. We'll play this idle animation. So it's more apparent in the editor how it's working because it's higher resolution. So you can see that I'm just taking all the different pieces of the character sprite and I'm just animating them with keyframes down here. And that's what I do for all my characters. But the nice thing is that because it's a low render resolution, it kind of crunches these all together and kind of muddies it a little bit, but in a good way where it looks very smooth and very coherent. Like, obviously this looks ugly, right? Like if this was the animation that was being used, I mean, I guess it doesn't look that bad if you zoom out, but you can really tell that it's kind of like gross looking in the editor. But I'm leveraging the fact that the render resolution is low and all those pixels kind of get crunched together and you end up with something that looks pretty good, actually. Tweens are also very powerful, yes. Okay, so let's do some board effects. So I'm looking at the Discord. So we got one that's corrupted abilities of items in this row column do not execute. I'm worried that that ability is going to be too powerful. I already have a couple of things that do that. But maybe it's not. Maybe we'll do it. So we'll do that one. Do I need to create a new column in my Kanban board for this? Okay, let's just create one. Ability ideas. I'm gonna put this here. Put that one there. Create a new list here. Legendary and board modifier, board effect. Ideas. Corrupted abilities do not execute. Okay. Let's see what we get. Okay. Sorry about this. I need to go take a quick 2 or 3 minute break. I know I just started the stream, but we'll go for like an hour after I get back. I'm sorry. BRB. All right, goodness, I'm sorry about that. All right, anyway, Polygamma, what a beautiful game, thank you. The pixel rotation issue isn't noticeable at all, looks great. Yeah, a lot of people say they don't like the pixel rotations or you shouldn't do them or whatever, but I think it's like, I don't know. I never have a problem with it. I think it looks fine. Yeah. I think it looks just fine. Hello, Rin. Welcome back. Good to see you as always. Lord O Lemons. That's a real neat hack. Do you cut up the arms in Godot or in the sprite editor? In the sprite editor, yeah. So what I usually do is, let's open an interesting character. Yeah, so what I usually do is I draw the character. What the heck is that? Oh, that was like an old iteration. So I draw the character like standalone. So like when I first drew the Lich here, I would have drawn this all as one sprite. And then what I do is I like gradually, you know, cut out the parts and then like I round them off, right, to make them so that they're actual parts. So as they're animating, they, you know, they have some kind of cohesion. Selectively apply outlines. So for example, here there's no outline around this part of the arm because it's supposed to be attached to the body, right? So that just kind of sits in there. And then for the Lich specifically, I've got these ribbons which are animated with shaders. So I just drew like a little ribbon sprite, and then in character Lich here. So these ribbons are there, and these have a they're actually a line 2D that gets animated to be a little bit wavy. So that's just kind of like the things that I typically do. So if I look at my unlocks, characters, so you can see there's those ribbons there on the Lich animating, right? So yeah, that's how I do it. I'm currently working on a tab system for a store in my game because the amount of different cards I have. I just don't want a forever ending wall of text, yeah. How many, oh wow, many columns, yeah. How are we doing today? I'm doing well, how are you doing, Junie? This is the new Be Right Back screen. This art style looks awesome. I've been playing around in Godot, but I'm definitely not a pixel artist, so I give up once I need better sprites. Yeah, it's hard, pixel art is hard. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of practice. For me, I was like, you know, I wouldn't say I have that eye for good pixel art. I think it's just a matter of, like I said, I just put a lot of effort into it and got better over time. So anyway, hope you're good. I saw you have different characters now. Do they have special abilities? They start with different... So the characters don't have special abilities per se. They just have different starting artifacts and different starting health and different starting items. So my idea was that, you know, you would start, like the artifacts that you start with might influence what type of build or what type of playstyle you do with that character. But I think the characters, they still need more work. I think I need to think about how to fix them, but there's like, yeah, there's not a whole lot different about them. So I may actually end up introducing the concept of unique artifacts, which are artifacts that are only available to that character and not available in like the artifact loot table. I may do that. That should differentiate each character enough, and then I can make those unique artifacts do a lot more interesting things because I don't have to worry about them being stackable, or I don't have to worry about them being picked up by another character. So I may do that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Still need to add a few more card types and push the playtest for Monday 15th. Very nice. Good luck with the playtest. I hope it goes well. Okay, anyway, we're gonna turn that off. We're gonna close a sprite. So we're gonna do this board modifier. let's see. Corrupted abilities do not execute. So I think that should be relatively easy. So what we're going to do is we've got the cooldown reduction board effect. What the heck is this one doing here? Delete that. New file. Corrupted ability blocker. Block board effect. Okay, so let me see how I want to do this. Oh, I also made this support the save system, so these board effects are being saved now. So really all that's left is to just build a bunch of these things. So let's look at the boatman. Oops, the wrong one. So boatman. We don't need that. Non-combat, add execution blocked ability. I think I can do this. So we copy this guy. We're going to need a new composed ability. And then we got ability configuration there. We might as well change this to non-combat composed ability. This would be corruption block ability. Alrighty, so let's put this in here. We are gonna need a card data provider. And then we're going to do for each var ability in card data provider dot base card. Get all cached composed abilities. I'm just going to add something. This should never happen, but it doesn't hurt to be defensive. Actually, I don't think I need that. I think I can just do context. Context.base card. So we add the execution blocked ability there. We want to make this a priority update phase. Let me see. Okay. So abilities, we're just going to slap the generic ability in there. I was thinking I probably need to change my keyword system. Okay, ability. I think that's it. I think that's it. So we can go to my Board effect factory. Corrupted ability block board effect dot ID is equal to this. Okay. Let's take a gander. How are you doing today? I'm doing well, thank you for asking. It'd be cool if they had unique items too. A one-time item that can be built around or sold. Yeah, that would be cool. Should be possible. I forgot to build the translations. Hello, Snup Bill. Thank you for the IDR 10,000. Very much appreciated. With the message Yummers. These all ended up being the same thing. Oh. I need to modify my translation generator. Okay. Board effect factory dot all IDs. Select board effect factory dot from ID. Select many. Board effect. Additional abilities. Add range artifact abilities. Additional abilities dot add range artifact abilities. Okay. Then we got to do this one. This would be in additional abilities. All abilities list dot add range. Board effect abilities. Additional abilities dot add range. Board effect abilities. Okay, hopefully that works. That should hopefully pull out all the abilities that could potentially be added by those board effects. Oops, I'm missing the corrupted. Oh, I'm so glad I wrote that little check. So this will tell me when I'm using a keyword in a description, but that keyword is not present in the ability explanations. So now I can do this. So it's pretty much guaranteed that I'm never going to miss including an explanation ever again because that warning comes up. It's not even a warning. It literally aborts the write of the translation file. So I literally can't update the translation file until I fix that. Ability board, effect, corrupted block. There we go. Interesting. Okay. Let's see if this works now. Hello, Jack. Welcome. Hello, Light Tiramisu. Welcome. There we go. Corrupted abilities are prevented from executing. Okay. So let's see if that indeed is the case. Heal enemy for 4. Let's see if that doesn't work. It did not do anything. Good. Good, good, good. All right, I think we can call that one done. Oh, excuse me. So that one's done. We're gonna mark this up. I guess mark it up twice. No, I'll wait. I was gonna mark it. So I'm keeping track of new content items added. This week I have a goal of 10. I've probably done more than I'm giving myself credit for, but once this one is done, I'll increment it, and then I'll increment it for each new board effect that gets added. All right, what are some other board effect ideas? If all cells contain a single item, project echo. Let's see. Each time an adjacent item executes, reduce the remaining cooldown by 0.5 seconds. Affected items have their cooldown increased by 60%, but execute an additional time. Items ignore up to 2 debuffs per combat. Interesting. Let's do, I do want to do one that says, I'm going to modify yours a little bit, Ninja Link. If I actually don't know how I'm going to do this. If at least 4 items, excuse me, in row or column, I want to change this to at least 4 alchemical items in row or column. Passively project echo. So the idea is that the board effect stays until you get a new one. No, you keep accruing them. You keep accruing them. So every time you grow, you get a new board effect, and that just stays until the end of the run. So you go here. You choose whatever you want. That adds it. If you grow up, it adds it to the new row, or grow up and down, it adds it to the new row. If you grow left and right, it adds it to the column. And then if I were to get another one, see, it adds a new one to that row too. So you can end up in a situation where you can make use of both effects on the same thing. So you can see that this has gotten corrupted ability block as well as reduced cooldown. How do you have 2 build buttons in your Godot editor? I assume it's an add-on for building translation strings. Any benefit over native C# res X? It is, I don't know what res X is, but it is an add-on. And what the add-on does is it actually runs Godot pointed at the translation generator scene. And the reason that I'm doing that is because I actually need to load up like the entire context of the game as if it's like a real runtime, as if it's a real version of the game, so that I can pull out all the information that I need to pull out. So it's basically like Godot is executing, but it's running only this scene, and then that scene pulls all the translations and creates the file. So it's a little bit weird, but that was the easiest way to like just get everything to fetch all the information that I need. And it's relatively quick too. I mean, it takes, what is that, like 1 second, 1.5 seconds, something like that. So it's not bad at all. Especially since I only need to do it when a translation string is added or removed or changed or something. Alchemical project echo. So I think this is a little bit of a new scenario, so I may need to do some extension work here. Query affected cards. So let's do this. Var alchemical count is equal to query affected cards with effect context. Then we're going to do dot count x dot has tag Actually, when does this happen? There may be an order of operations issue here. Let me think. So the problem is, if I count the number of alchemical cards here, I think that may exclude any abilities that get the alchemical tag projected to them. I need to think about how to do this. There may be an order of operations issue here. Sorry, give me 1 second. I lied. I guess we didn't go an hour, but I'll be back much quicker this time. Okay, so this order of operations issue. Hello, Fira. Board modifier idea. All items in the row column are affected by relics twice. Oh, that's an interesting one. Let's see. This is going to be a little bit of a problem. I may have to actually set up a test case if I want to get this one done. Because the problem is, so if I'm looking at the all cached composed abilities here, so it goes through the execute abilities. What is it doing? Rebuild composed ability cache. It's getting filtered composed abilities from the board effects. Yeah. I don't think... So I'm in a weird situation where I need to count the number of alchemical items are in the row or column. But I need to do that after the tags have been modified potentially. But I only want to apply the ability if it matches that filter. Do I have anything that projects alchemical? Have fun stream today. Good luck on grind. Thank you. Where's my... Do I not have a tag projector? Tag modifier. Another one, having a card of each type in this row column gives all items in this row column a 1 second cooldown reduction. Hard to come up with a modifier that can't just be an enchant. Yeah. Yeah, there's gonna be quite a lot. Let's do this. I'm gonna change the Acolyte to Alchemical so I can test it. we'll just print the alchemical count, and I'll just get rid of this for now. The other problem is I don't have a way of testing, like I don't have a way of easily adding this. No. This is alchemical. Okay. Well, let's just do this. Just do this for now. Project settings. I need to add Acolyte. I really don't think that this is going to work, but let's see. So let's grab okay, so let's see. Let's look at the output here. So we've got the 0 there. So that's saying there's 0 alchemical items. Put that here. Oh, it is saying there's 1. I wonder why that works. Why does that work? Why does that work? So it's getting the filter, add ability filter. This is kicking in get filtered composed abilities. This is being called in base card. I really don't know why this is working. Well, I guess we'll just say it works. I don't think I really need to trace through the logic. I figured that wasn't going to work, but I think I have a different problem here. These ability filters are cached. If not filter. Oh, so if the filter doesn't pass, it removes the cache entry. Okay, so maybe this is actually going to be easier than I thought. So we could just do this. If alchemical count is less than 4, we return false. Otherwise, we return card matches query. And this is also cached. All right. Anyway, I think that will work. I'm going to need to update how the description works for this too. Oh, man. I don't need to do this either. I think I could just do ability builder dot echo. I don't think I need to do any of that. Is that literally it? Is that the entire... Hello, Emerson. Welcome back. Good to see you. So I put this here. I put this here. Put that there. I don't have any... I don't have the board effect yet. Okay. So that did not work. So it adds the echo when I have 4 natural alchemical items. Wait, that still has echo on it too. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's not getting the echo. That's what I figured would happen. I was sure that this was working. Let's attach to the process here. Alchemical count is 4. Now it's saying 3. Oh, goodness. Sorry, 1 second. Gosh, this stream keeps getting interrupted. My nose started bleeding. I don't know why that happened. BRB. All right, I'm back. I'm going to keep my camera off just in case I need to keep wiping my nose here. So we'll see how that goes. Shouldn't the range dots overlay on top of other blocks? I don't know what you mean. Shouldn't the range dots overlay on top of other blocks? Let's see. Yeah, the cell chemical count is 3. Oh gosh. Why is it doing so many updates? Hope it's nothing serious. No, it shouldn't be. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But the range dots should be on top of other blocks. I think it's okay. It works the same as everything else in the game with respect to the board highlighting. It hooks into the exact same system. But I don't know exactly what you're referring to. If you want to clarify. Goodness. So yeah, this is as I feared. I think this alchemical tag is not being added until after these have processed. So how am I going to do this? I think I can make this a little bit simpler. Let's see. For debugging purposes. Okay. Yeah. No, I got what you're saying. I think it's okay. We're not having much luck on this stream today, are we? That's okay. It happens. Let's remove that breakpoint for now. So let's put 1, 2, and 3, and then if I put the acolyte, yeah, there's like an order of operations issue here because if I remove the acolyte and I put it back down, there's no echo. But if I remove the skeleton warrior and put it there. then it works. Oh, but this one's not getting it either. So yeah, there must be something order dependent here. Is that an issue? I wonder if that's an issue with my artifact. My hands artifact as well. Tag modifier. I thought I had one that changed things to weapons. Do I not have that? Okay. Let me think about this. So when I do the non-combat board update, I'm resetting the non-combat modifiers. That causes a rebuild of the ability tree. I'm iterating over all the main update phases. Execute natural non-combat abilities for phase. You know what? I wonder... This is non-combat phase early. Execute contextual non-combat abilities. Execute ability list. Contextual. So execute natural non-combat abilities for phase. So let me think about this. So the Acolyte is configured to go early. So we have board manager. Here's my ordered phases. Non-combat update phase. Priority, early, normal, passive, projective. So that's configured to go early. So for each card, it executes the abilities for that phase. But it's calling get all natural composed abilities. Shoot. I wonder if it's working in here. So this is not part, so I have a cached ability list, this rebuild composed ability cache. I almost wonder if that's not, if the cached list is not being updated. Okay. Well, let's see what happens. Yeah, something's not right here. I don't know how I'm going to test this. I'm just going to have to print this. All right, we're going to go back in again. What is callable.from? That creates a Godot callable. Which is just any sort of like reference to a function that Godot understands. So if you want to call a C# function or method or whatever in a deferred manner, meaning that you push it to the idle frame, you need to wrap whatever you're calling in a callable so that Godot understands what it is. Board effect 000. If I put the skeleton warrior in there, we get some of them. Interesting. Maybe I should put, sorry about this, I should put the card name in here. This is going to be a pain in the rear. I can hear and see game development happening, but I see no game developer. Yeah, the reason for that is my nose started bleeding quite profusely for some reason, but I think it's done now, so come back. I don't have anything on my face, do I? Okay, we're back. It was literally like a freaking waterfall. I was like, what the heck? Okay, let's clear this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull the acolyte off. So it's 0 all the way down. Put the acolyte back. Skeleton warrior 1. This may just be a tooltip bug. It's saying that it has that ability, but it's not showing up in the tooltip. So I wonder if there's like a weird caching issue happening. I'm going to go to the boss and see if these things are actually echoing. No, it's not. Hmm. Well, this is kind of a bummer. This ability system is just so, like, there's so many order of operations things that need to be considered across the artifacts and across the board effects. And then if an artifact adds an ability that should affect other things, then that's... What should I do about this? Like, I can't just say, oh, just apply the board effects after everything's done, because what happens if the board effect adds an ability that should affect something else, right? So I can't just say, oh, we'll just apply it after all the state has been updated. I think I almost need to hook it into the same sort of like update phase loop. Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know what I'm going to do about this. I keep doing that. I got to select the bonus first. Okay. Yeah, it says 0 across. Yeah, it's not working with the projected tag. I can't figure out exactly why it's not working with the projected tag though. See, the weird thing is that this is getting its echo. These might be cached, I guess. Is it just a caching issue on the board effect? I really don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to thread these order of operations issues. Maybe the problem... So when I move an item off the board, or if I pick up an item and start dragging it, it does this reset non-combat modifiers. This clears all of the passive state, essentially. And I've got a rebuild ability tree in here. So that's going to run. This is going to be done for each card. So what's going to happen in this case is that tag is going to be cleared from the Skeleton Warrior. Actually, that might be the problem. I should maybe rebuild the tree at the end here. Yeah. Then it does execute natural non-combat abilities for phase. This does not trigger a rebuild of that ability tree, though. So I rebuild the ability tree there. Execute ability list. Honestly, I think the problem here is probably just a caching issue. I think what's happening is like it's rebuilding the ability tree here. But it's never rebuilding it again, so it's never refetching the board effect stuff. I mean, it does refetch it here. Get all natural composed abilities. But I don't think, does it ever rebuild again? Execute natural, execute natural. I wonder if it's just not rebuilding. Let me see if that change I made fixes this, though. Probably not. I have a friend who had chronic nosebleed for many years. They stuck hot irons up his nose and finally stop it. Very Alchemortis, yeah. Doctor did, but still pretty medieval. Yeah, I have a friend who did that too. Just cauterize it. All right, let's see. Well, I was not expecting to get stumped on the second or the third board effect modifier that we add. I just don't know how to get this to work. I think the core problem is that that ability tree is not being rebuilt, because the rebuild ability tree is what triggers this echo getting onto an item. But if that ability, if that's never being re-triggered, this filter never gets re-triggered and it never adds that echo. Of course, the problem is too that This doesn't have to be an echo ability. This could be some other ability that affects another ability. So the question is, how do I make this so that it behaves very predictably and solidly? Oops. Did you write the shaders for the game? I wrote some of them. A lot of them were heavily Claude assisted. I actually wrote a shader yesterday though, so on stream. Well, I really don't know what to do about this. I really don't know what to do. You know, part of me is tempted to just like rewrite this and just put the ability, just put as part of the ability description, you know, echo if there are more than 4 alchemical items in this row, and just put that ability on all items, and that would kind of work around it, because then I'm moving the check to the inside of the ability itself rather than trying to do it at the filter level here. But I think that would be rather, I don't know, noisy. Feels better to me to just only put the echo on if there are 4 alchemical cards, right? What are we gonna do? So the reason I don't want to do that as well is because I think there may be another issue, similar issue, with the hands artifact. So I think it's going to be, I'm almost positive it's going to be the same exact issue where that artifact is not going to work. Part of me is also tempted to just remove the caching that I put in place. I might give that a shot, actually. Yeah. So we'll just get rid of the caching and see what happens. So we're basically, without the caching, it's just fetching the list every time. Get rid of this cache as well. We're just going to get rid of this scourge of caching here. No. We'll just do this, whatever. Okay. Alrighty, and then delete this. Okay, let's see if that works. Oh, it's not going to work. I need to update some places in the code. Okay, I think we're good now. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I would like to cache those in a certain sense, because then I don't have to rebuild this every time. But at the same time, I really don't think that this is that heavy of an operation, so I don't think it matters that much. Okay. I could always time it too and see how long it takes. I have a sneaking suspicion that this isn't going to work either, though. Oh, it did work. Do I just get rid of the caching then? This gets to the heart of why I just don't like caching, right? It's like, yeah, caching things is nice sometimes, but if it's cheap to just recompute everything on demand, then that's just gonna give you a much easier time. Because now I'm dealing with all these issues of like, well, now it's not updating the ability tree because there's nothing that's triggering a cache invalidation that I gotta figure out all the places in the code that need to trigger cache invalidation and whether I can figure out how to do that in a very nice, streamlined way so that it's automatic whenever an artifact or a board modifier does something that would invalidate the cache, it's just picked up automatically. It's like all that headache just gets avoided if I just recompute the whole list every time I need it. And I really don't think it's that heavy of an operation. It's just, it is a little bit of a concern in my mind because anytime I need to get the full ability list on a card, I have to call this method. And this method is reaching out to like a bunch of different things and like building out a whole list of abilities. And that may get called, 100, 200 times in like a single board state update. It might get called more than that, actually. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. I may have to have a chat with Claude and see what he thinks. See what it thinks. Yeah, I might have to do that. Well, sorry to say, everyone, that we didn't actually get a whole lot done on the stream, but I am going to end the stream there. Optimize my code for 100x and performance, make no mistake. So I'm gonna end the stream there. I'm not feeling all that good at the moment, so I'm gonna stop and go rest, but I hope nothing's happening between the nosebleed and all this stuff. It's like, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I'll be fine. But you can still play the Alchemortis playtest. The link for that is in the description below. So yeah, it's going to end on Monday, I believe, is the day that we decided on to end it. So you still have a couple of days to try it. It's closing Monday at 10 a.m. And you can also wishlist the game. What else? I think that's it. Thank you, Clickertail. All right, I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. I will not be streaming tomorrow, so I will see you back here Monday at 10 a.m. Okay, bye-bye for now.